Global Solutions. Great to have you here. I'm here with my podcast co-host, Michael Upshaw, founder and CEO of Above the Cloud Media Solutions. Is Above the Cloud Media?
Uh,
Marketing and media and marketing.
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. You provide solutions, but it's not in the name. But again, we're here doing basically an information session. I have an upcoming online workshop, Think Global, Build Local, Win Everywhere. It's for the small business trying to navigate through these challenging and changing times and really to help you think about markets that may be actually outside the US. Now, some people want to think about scaling, and of course, you can scale in different ways. You can scale from local to regional, regional to national, but also we're talking about from potentially national, even if you're already national, how do you go international? How do you actually build and grow and expand your business into markets that may be unfamiliar to you, but actually the customer that you're looking for may not be nearby where you are right now, or may not be in the current markets that you're serving. There could be many other customers out there who are looking for your products and services. So we're going to be talking about strategy, practical strategies, tips, and tools to help you navigate expanding your market. So we just want to talk about that just a little bit today, just to give you a little bit of insight about what's going to be coming up on November the 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Of course, you can register at the website, scalelocaltoglobal.com. So, Mike, I appreciate you being here and having this conversation with me.
Hey, man, it is good to be here, and it's good to be having this conversation with you. So excited, man, about what you have going on. First of all, let me just say congratulations as you are launching this workshop, man. It's so needed. I think bringing a conversation to people, allowing them to be able to connect, ask questions, and get the proper leadership, if you will, so that they can take the direction that they may want to take or not take, because they'll be able to find what fits for them. And so I think this is going to be a great opportunity. And so looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, for those who don't know, prior to above the cloud now, but also prior to you launching Above the Cloud, you're president and CEO of another company, a streaming company that was doing business globally. So talk a little bit about that because you actually have some experience, right, with understanding how to go into international and global markets.
Absolutely. One of the things I'll say is learning to navigate the global economy. They, at least our clients, and I've operated in different continents. Those that we work with, they function a little bit differently than some. And I often used to say, man, if I can have more clients outside of the country than inside of the country, that might be a good thing.
Right.
I think the level of connection, understanding, and for the services that you provide are much more appreciated when you're bringing things to the table that perhaps they really need, and then you build relationships, and typically those relationships are lasting.
Mhm.
And that's the benefit, I think, of operating outside of just your normal economy and what you understand about what we understand here in the United States. And I think when you get outside of that and you start to delve into the realm of global business, you lean on a lot of relationships that then take you into other directions. So you think about getting referrals here. The referral system, from my experience, is even more effective,
Right.
operating in different countries. And a lot of it is because, and you'll talk about this, I know, is how you develop those relationships. And so, quick story, I
Mhm.
had a person come all the way from, Nigeria to meet me at NAB one year, not knowing that I wasn't going to be at NAB. And
Right.
I had no idea that he was coming there just to meet me. But
Wow.
on his way through Chicago, on his way back, NAB was in Las Vegas, but on his way back, he had a stop in Chicago. He happened to reach out to me. And I didn't even know who referred him at that particular point in time. But
Mm.
when he told me that, I was like, wow, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Sorry that I
absolutely.
didn't get a chance to connect with you. But long story short, we ended up doing business with them. And, it was just a great opportunity, which led to many other opportunities so that we could leverage a lot more business there. So, yeah, that was a long answer, but
Right.
you,
Gotcha.
you want to get to this workshop so that you can get the answers that you need for your global opportunities.
Absolutely. But yeah, long answer. However, it got to the point, right? That really I was trying to make, and you made it actually well. It does start with relationships, right? Because again, anybody can think about, hey, or maybe somebody's scared, right, to enter into a new market because they don't have the relationships. But that is key, right? So wherever you're going. But I'd even say that if you're in, Georgia, you're expanding to California, right? Again, you want to begin to build relationships in the places that you want to do business because again, markets are different in those places, but it's not impossible, right? There are some strategies that you can definitely apply to doing that, and there's some steps that you can actually take to be effective at it because again, there are enough examples of businesses that are doing it. But again, you want to do it the right way, and that's really what we're doing here on the Think Global, Build Local, Win Everywhere workshop is helping you think through what are those strategies, what are the systems, what are the tools that you need to have in place in order to be able to do that. And as a matter of fact, I recently wrote a white paper, actually with the same title, Think Global, Build Local, Win Everywhere, a small business blueprint to scale from local to global in a changing world. And that's the key, right? There are a lot of changes going on. We got tariff pressures, we got policy shifts, we have, a lot of new technologies that are forcing, business to adapt how they do business. The ecosystems, right, around entrepreneurship and business development are all changing. And so, how do you stop your head from swimming? How do you get a handle on what your strategy to be? Because here's the thing, just because somebody else has a particular strategy doesn't mean that that's going to work for you. How do you design a strategy that's going to work for you? That's going to help you navigate through all the uncertainty, right? From that standpoint. So those are the things we're going to be discussing. And also, I'm excited that I'll be announcing this in the next several days about some key guests that actually are going to be on who have experience in doing business it globally on in different continents and different countries to give you some practical examples. But again, our goal here is that you walk away with some confidence, but also some tools to help you begin to put your own strategy together as you begin to identify markets and opportunities, again, that may be outside your local region.
And Paul, somebody might be watching that hadn't even considered the possibility of doing business globally, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody might watch this video and think, man, I never thought about that. And the other side of it is perhaps you have sort of reached your pinnacle here in the United States, right? You are, trying to get new business, those kind of things, and then maybe sometimes doing something a little different. Fishing on the other side of the boat, if you will, could perhaps be the opportunity that you're looking for. And I think that this particular, workshop will provide you with some answers, as Paul said, and a set of tools. And not only that, it'll give you an opportunity to connect with other people that have already went in the direction of growing their business globally. There's some things that are very, unique to a global footprint. Understanding how the money works, understanding how exchange rates and, all of these things, even from down to banking and how you're being paid. And these are things that you need to consider when you're doing business across the pond, as they say. So Paul, you've traveled extensively. You've had a chance to go over to these foreign lands and just watch and work and talk and demonstrate and put together and network and all of these things. And then you've come back to the United States and then you've been able to host and, do all of these other things. So your background speaks very well to what it is that you're getting ready to do. So tell people about your travels and your experiences in that way and what they should expect when they attend this workshop in a couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate that because again, I have fortunately, especially even in the last several years, that travel has increased. But in general, been to places like Rwanda and Uganda and Zimbabwe and on the African continent, and even down, to South America. When we talk about Colombia, and even Guatemala. So again, definitely have had opportunity not just to travel, but travel for the purpose of business, building relationships, providing consulting services, engaging in these places where begin to engage in the local economies there, but also understand how to build bridges from those economies back to the U.S. and with businesses and entrepreneurs here in Atlanta and across the U.S. And so a couple of things that I've definitely learned and I talked about a little bit. One is building those relationships, but also it's also understanding those local economies, understanding their strengths, understanding their weaknesses, understanding the differences, right? Because every economy, no matter where you are, is going to have some strengths, weaknesses, and different ways that they operate here. But also understanding which products and services, right, actually fit well in different places and what those consumers or those businesses are actually looking for. So I've been able to, kind of compile a lot of my experiences and be able to gauge that way, but also connecting that with, again, other experts and other business leaders who've been able to do the same. And so bringing all that together and helping people, again, take that knowledge and that information from our experiences and now help you put your strategy together from that standpoint. So I highly encourage it. And I know a lot of people will go out of the country for tourism, and definitely you want to do that. But I would say add business tourism, right? The next time you think about taking a trip. And again, that for that first trip, maybe just to learn. And again, go be a tourist, but also keep your eye on what business opportunities may be there. So when you come back now, you're thinking differently, even about doing business in these different countries and on these different continents. Because again, as many challenges there are going on, not only in our own country, but around the world, we know one thing is not going to stop, and that's business, right? Business is going to keep going regardless. And there are going to be people continue to make money regardless. There's no reason why you shouldn't be one of those people and those business leaders who can continue to add value, continue to provide your products and services to people and businesses and even governments and other organizations who are looking for what you have to offer.
Yeah, and to me, it just makes good business sense, right?
Absolutely.
To take a look for $27, this early bird special,
Yes.
you need to dive in
Right.
because it will go away. I think the early bird special lasts until midnight on,
That's
midnight.
right. Midnight, Friday night.
Yep.
Yes.
So
October 24th for those. Yeah.
yeah. So you want to make sure that, because if October 25th comes, then it's $47,
Yes.
which is still a great deal for you. And we all know, look, that's not even, it's a small investment for a great opportunity. And so, you don't want
That's
to.
one lunch.
Exactly.
Right. We wouldn't even cover, in some places, we wouldn't even cover lunch.
I know, man. That's like Chick-fil-A
Right.
for one person, with a cookie.
Yeah.
And so, but seriously, you invest in a lot of things. The biggest thing about this is not so much the financial investment, it's the time investment. And once you invest your time and your money, then you put your resources to work for you. So look, we're all business owners, so you don't have to be sold on looking for opportunities. But you do need to make sure that you understand how to align and partner with the right people. I'm sure many of us get all types of emails from people that sound great, right? But you don't know those people, and a lot of it is scams. And so
Right.
you want to protect yourself by getting the right connections with the right relationships with the right people who can help guide that course, especially for, global opportunities, but even for national opportunities, as Paul said, even if you are on the East Coast and you haven't really done business on the West Coast and you're trying to figure out, hey, what does that look like? How should I target certain things? But this is a global, opportunity. And so you want to think about it from a global, perspective. And so, yeah, but again, I've already drank the Kool-Aid and it's sweet. So I want to continue to, build this thing out, see other people take an opportunity. Listen, I promise you, when you learn how to do business abroad, it can only expand your thinking and your business and the opportunities, because you think about what you can do here for our local economy, but then also what you can do in somebody else's economy. And listen, here's another thing. This is not one of those things where it's like, hey, do business overseas and find cheap labor. That's not what we're talking
No.
about, right?
No.
So, and that's why I want to make sure, because we're going to demystify a lot of those things, as Paul will, bring these highlights and educate you on how you can do the proper business, overseas. And so, yeah. So, Paul, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be great. And again, folks, you want to Think global, build local, win everywhere. Thursday, November 5th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there for $27, the early bird special. And you can go to scalelocaltoglobal.com, scalelocaltoglobal.com. You'll be able to click the link there to register. The registration is through Eventbrite, and through Eventbrite, you'll be able to get your ticket. And man, we look forward to seeing you on November 5th at 12 p.m. Think global, build local, win everywhere. Again, $27. You need to go ahead and sign up today. Click the link now. In fact, you shouldn't even be watching the broadcast anymore. You should be registered.
You should be over there. Exactly. So, Mike, I think you said it well. We're going to go ahead and close this out. But again, encourage everyone to do this for you, right? Do this to invest in yourself. Do this to invest in your business. Again, this is about your business growth and expansion beyond where you are right now. And sometimes you have to move into places that may be uncomfortable, but your opportunities are always typically in a place that is uncomfortable outside your comfort zone. So your business is ready to grow, and it's ready to grow beyond these shores. So, all right, I'll look forward to seeing you there. Think global, build local, win everywhere on November the 5th. And again, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out through social media and other channels. We can answer those questions for you, but we look forward to seeing you there on November 5th. Have a great rest of your day.